Hey guys, Thogden here. Welcome back to Premier League predictions. Game week 31, the international break is over. The best league in the world, the Premier League, is finally back on our screens. I'm very excited to see the title race, the relegation scrap, the European places up for grabs. Where do we even start? Let's go with a like target. Go on, Thogdad.
I'll tell you what, Theo, 10,000.
Come on. We always say 10,000.
I know we do.
Let's say like 10,143.
Now, last week, the amazing SEMA was the guest 7 points. Thogden got 11. I got 11, and the scores are on the doors. Thogdad is ahead by 20. And I've got a question for Wash and Go Thogdad. Is Thogdad going to win it?
Hey, look.
Yes, he is. But you know what, Theo? I'm not going to do this video.
Why?
Because I'm looking at you, have not subscribed yet.
Oh, sheesh.
Oh, wait a minute.
They haven't.
They aren't actually now.
No.
Thank you.
What are we talking about today, Theo?
We're talking about Skillshare. Now, I've been using this app over the last few weeks, which I find really exciting. It's a place where you can learn new things, discover classes, to be able to unlock new skills in your life. I've got a YouTube channel, right? So what do I need to do? I need to learn to edit. So I went onto Skillshare one day, and basically I watched a few classes about Premiere Pro. I've actually got the skill and been able to improve my edits. A lot of you guys are at university and you're looking to go to sports journalism, maybe something football related, you want a job in football. You get all these tips and skills on Skillshare, and it's very simple to get. The first 1,000 people to use this link will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare through the link in my description or the code on the screen. So you can have a go and play around with it for completely nothing, and then you're going to be discovering new skills whilst you're at it, and that can completely up-level your career. It might unlock an opportunity for you in the future and help you get your dream job. They've got members across 150 different countries. I mean, there is so much content on there, it's unbelievable. At the end of the day, I sit down and just watch a few of the videos because they're so simple and easy to do as well. And you can learn something new today. It's completely ad-free as well, which is like the little things which I appreciate about this website. So discover your unraveled creativity with my code. You get it free. Guys, get involved, see where you're at in a little bit. I'm going to be regularly using it and I hope to see you guys over there.
Now, the first game, Theo, is Liverpool in second against Watford in 18. The Liverpool have won the last 9 games, scored 75 goals in the league this season. Truly amazing. Can there be a surprise here?
See, when 2022 started, I thought Liverpool had no chance in the title race. But a 9-game winning streak, in fact, in all competitions they've been winning, has brought them right back in it. And if they do get the 3 points against Watford with the early kickoff, they can go top of the Premier League for a few hours.
That is truly amazing, but Watford won their last away game. I think it was against Southampton. Do they have any chance here?
They do have a chance. I think they get more points away from home than they do at Vicarage Road.
Wow.
They've got like 15 points away, 7 points at home over a certain amount of games, which shows that Roy Hodgson can turn up and cause an upset, but I'm unsure whether he will.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going 3-0 to Liverpool.
Yeah, I'm going 3-0 Liverpool as well. And I've got a theory. That Trent injury, it wasn't real. That was just a way of resting up for their trip to Lisbon on a Monday morning with the Champions League coming away at Benfica and this fixture.
I've got a question for you.
Go on, what's the question?
Who is the guest today?
The guest today is BAMBINO, Becky.
No way.
You got this guest, not me.
I did actually, yeah.
Yeah, you went down classic football shirts. Big up them for this shirt, by the way. You sorted it out, Thogdad.
She is brilliant. BAMBINO, Becky. Go and subscribe to her right now.
Yeah, thanks for coming on the channel. And let's see what you predict for the first game.
Hello, everyone. It's me, your favourite football pundit. And I have been asked to do the predictions. Liverpool have won. Liverpool just won. Did you see it? 2-1. Give Watford a chance.
Brighton and Hove Albion in 13th place against Norwich in 20th. I'll tell you what, Theo, the last 5 games these teams have played, they've lost them all. Shocking form. Brighton nearly being caught by Newcastle, Theo.
Yeah, the way I see it, the saying misery loves company comes into play with these two teams facing 2 worst records in the league at the moment on recent form. Terrible. International break came at the perfect time for both parties, but who's going to turn up?
Well, Norwich need 8 points, don't they, to catch Everton. It'll take a miracle, but I think they'll go here without fear. Everyone assumes that they've been relegated, so can there be a surprise?
Brighton's issues fall all around the park. They've lost 6 in a row now, 4 of them at home. That's not the Brighton we know and love. They've never had a 7 in a row record where they've lost consistently for 2+ goals since the 02-03 season. So that puts into perspective how poor Potter is doing currently. He needs to turn this route. If he doesn't, I do wonder for his job. You can't continue to lose with that Brighton side.
Oh my goodness, Theo. I think the owner is a loyal man. I think Potter will stay, and I think they'll win this narrowly. I'm going 1-0 to Brighton.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think his job will be safe after a big win here. I'm going 2-0 Brighton. I think that break will be nice time to reflect. They can kick on Norwich at home. Although the Canaries have the same mentality, right? They're coming into this game after a nice break. They want to hit the ground running and try and stay up. But I think it's going to go Brighton's way because they do have a better team. And at the Amex, they need to turn the form round. So we both go for a win. What does Bambino Becky reckon?
3 o'clock Brighton versus Norwich. I'm a big fan of the Happy Hour podcast, so I'm going to have to say Norwich win. 1-0. I'm predicting someone gets sent off very early.
Burnley in 19th against Manchester City in first. This is a Lancashire derby. Now, Burnley, 4 points behind Everton, Theo. Lost the last 3. Have we given up on them?
No, never give up on Burnley. Dicey always finds a way. However, facing Pep, he usually doesn't. He hasn't faced a manager more, and they've only come out with 1 point from 14 games.
Wow, but I tell you what, Man City dropped points to Crystal Palace. That's a bit of a shocker, but great for the title race.
City can't afford to lose another game.
I think, Theo, this could be a very tight clash. I don't think this will be a cricket score. I'm going to come straight out and say Burnley 0, Manchester City 1.
Yeah, well, City have an eye on Atletico on Tuesday. I know it's another home game, but Champions League is a massive focus for them considering they've never won it. The Premier League is a competition they seem to win very regularly, but with Liverpool right on their arse now, they need to take some more focus. I'm going for a 3-0 battering. They've had a nice break. A lot of these players will be nice and recovered. This will be a Pep smashing. I think Mahrez, maybe a cheeky goal for Gundo, and give it to Grealish because he looked good for England.
Well, I'll tell you what, Theo, the Burnley fans have not given up, and I think this is a banana skin, but I want to know, Bambino, Becky, get out of the pub. What do you reckon, mate?
I'm giving it to Burnley, 1-0. It's the fact that I'm really trying. As if I'm going to get these right.
Right, we've had a Lancashire derby now for a London derby, 3rd against 15th. It's Chelsea against Brentford. Now, Chelsea, world champions, European champions, won the last 5 games. The ownership situation, though, Theo, still uncertain.
Yeah, off-field problems persist for Chelsea, which is looking like key personnel might not stay at the club, with sanctions maybe coming in the summer. There's been a lot of ownership talk. One man seems to stand out because he seems very close to buying the club, and that is Sam Ricketts. And I actually want to go out and say I am saying no to Ricketts because personally, in this society of football, we should be against racism and Islamophobia. Therefore, I hope Sam Ricketts does not take over the club and they find another buyer. And I respect anyone going to the protest on Saturday. I know they've got problems off the pitch, but I think it will bring the team together once again. Do I think Brentford can turn up and cause an upset? It depends. They've got their own issues. Ivan Toney seems to be saying stuff left, right and centre, but he scores goals and he's so key to that team. I'm simply going 2-0 Chelsea. I think a goal from Havertz and Mason Mount. They've got to focus on the Champions League as well coming up. Big game at home to Real Madrid, so they will rotate the team.
Absolutely, Theo. Now, Brentford got 2 crucial wins against Norwich and Burnley, and that completely changes their position. Eriksen, great to see him in a shirt.
Yeah, back at Stamford Bridge. That is great to see. It's brilliant. He's already bagged an assist for Brentford too.
He certainly has. But you know what, Theo? I'm going to agree with you. I think it's going to be Chelsea 2-0. But if it's 0-0 at half-time, again, this is a banana skin.
Oh, it could be.
But let's get over to Wales and Bambino Becky.
What's that little wasp? Is that a wasp on their badge? It's 3-0, guys. It's 3-0 as the whistle blows.
Leeds United in 16th against Southampton in 11th. What can we say about Leeds, Theo? They are the last-minute team against Norwich, against Wolves. Amazing spirit.
Here's what we can say about them. Bamford injured. Rafinha got the Rona. Meslier might have an injury as well. Missing some key personnel for such a crucial game for Jesse Marsh.
That is truth there. Now, a Southampton team who's slipping away a bit recently, aren't they?
Yeah, international break came at the right time for them. Gives them an opportunity to reflect on a couple losses and bounce back to the form that we know the Saints can come out with. They can easily turn up at Ellen Road and get 3 points, can't they?
They can, Theo. I think this is guesswork. I'm going with home advantage, though. 2-1 Leeds.
I've gone 2-1 Leeds as well, because I just feel Jesse Marsh has something in him right now. That bit of momentum, the recent form will kick on. And look, Rodrigo, he's been the one scoring the goals for them over the last few games. Who says he's going to stop? So I'm back in the Leeds, just like you. What about Bambino Becky?
Leeds versus Southampton. It's 1-1. And do you know why it's 1-1? They were just looking for a nice day out. Everyone's had a nice time. Pints are flying. It's 3 o'clock. 1-1.
Wolverhampton Wanderers in 8th place against Aston Villa in 9th, but there's actually 10 points between these two teams. Now, Wolverhampton, well, of course, this is a brilliant Midlands derby, isn't it?
It is, but with a 10-point gap and only one of these two teams really being able to make European football this season, not a great game. There's not much change in the table from it, is there?
Well, I tell you what, Wolverhampton Wanderers should not have lost to Leeds. I watched the first half. They're 2-0 up. I thought it could be 4 or 5-0.
Seriously?
And then that second half happened. Absolutely ridiculous. How
Carnage.
did you lose that game, Wolves?
Poor defending is how they lost that game. I remember watching the highlights thinking, hold on, is this the Wolves defence? There's like a better record than some of the top 6. Oh, wait. It just shows you've got to have experience to be able to run a great defence throughout the season. In this game, will they have bounced back? They would have had a good amount of time to reflect and ensure on their mistakes, working the training ground. So will they come out with a win?
It's hard to say. Villa have lost a couple recently, but we know they're a good, well-organised team under Stevie G. I think I'm going to sit on the fence here. I was going to say 1-0 Wolves, but I'm going to go 1-1.
I've gone 1-1 as well, but I would have loved to go 1-0 Wolves. I just think they might sneak it. So, Becky, who you backing? Is it a draw to make it 3 in a row?
Okay, Wolves versus Aston Villa. There'll be trouble when the Wolves come out. I think it's the Wolves. Don't know why, I've never seen that team in my life, but I bet they're brilliant. Wolves 2-1, interesting game, had everyone on the edge of their seat.
Manchester United in 6th place against Leicester City in 10th, and Man United have slipped 4 points behind Arsenal. Can they claw that back?
They were absolutely begging for that international break, weren't they?
Yeah.
Out of the Champions League, mixed recent form, 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss. I mean, Ralph Rangnick has simply not got it going like even Ole had it.
Yeah,
It's the worst United form since, I can't even say, they've always had a bad run here or there. I don't know how they turn this around.
Theo, I've got to ask you a question. Harry Maguire was booed at the England game. I was there. I was not booing him. I was singing the Harry Maguire song because I don't think you should boo your own players. Do you agree with that?
No, I don't think it's right to boo Harry Maguire. I know I may have called him out and said, yeah, it's a bit of an iffy that he was picked in the team, but there's no way I'd enter the stadium and boo him, especially after everything he's done for England.
Yeah.
At the Russia World Cup, more recently in the Euros at Wembley. He's been vital in the back three, and I think that's where the problem lies. I think Harry Maguire in a back three is brilliant. He's got that extra cover next to Carl Walker, who's twice as fast as him, and will catch forwards if he is slightly out of position. But you put him in 2-back at Old Trafford, one of the biggest ground in England, where the pressure is mounting with everyone watching you, he's going to struggle because he doesn't have as much support. That's what it comes down to. If United can make a back three work, I think we'll start to see Maguire shine. I'm going to go for a narrow 2-1 win at home. What do you reckon?
I reckon Leicester have been very good recently,
They
Theo.
have.
They've won 3 out of the last 4 games, and players like Maddison and Barnes, they're really coming through
And
now.
they're rested because they didn't go to England,
Correct.
which is so unusual. Even the likes of Dewsbury Hall deserved a call-up for me. There's a lot of Leicester players, which I do wonder, does Southgate just have an issue with that club?
I think the result here is guesswork, but you know what? I'm going to go 2-1 to Manchester United.
We've both gone for 2-1 United. On to the next one.
I'm going to go crazy. Man United 4-0.
West Ham United in 7th against Everton in 17th. Now, West Ham United lost the London derby to Spurs, didn't they, Theo?
Yep.
Can they bounce back? I mean, their 2022 has been a bit meh.
Even though their record's been pretty bad, a win can put them above United if results fall that way. That's how good David Moyes is doing right now.
Yeah, but it's a shame they didn't strengthen in January.
Yeah, it is a shame, and I mentioned that with their European run, it would have been great to have some extra personnel in there. They still did well enough to come back against Sevilla, but with so many focuses in different pockets of competitions, it's going to be difficult to try and get a high European spot. I think top 4's off, maybe 5th or 6th, but it's going to be hard, isn't it?
Good point, Theo. Now, Everton, what a crucial victory against Newcastle, eh?
Yeah, so good. And I hope they kick on. I know they had a rubbish 4-0 battering to Palace in the Cup, but I still have big faith in Lampard. I've seen him do a good job at Chelsea. And Everton fans, I just give him time. I don't think he'll turn around here because Allen is vital to that midfield, and the red card means he'll be suspended for this fixture. But I think give him some time, he will get it right.
Good point, Theo. I'm going for the most common result in football, which is, of course, 1-0.
I'm going 1-0 West Ham as well. Becky, what do you reckon? Let's go over to Wales. Well, she's not actually living in Wales, but you know what I mean.
I live near West Ham, so I'm going to have to say West Ham 2-0.
Tottenham Hotspur in 5th against Newcastle United in 14th. Now, last week, Spurs, Son got 2 goals, Kane got 3 assists. They were magnificent, weren't they, against West Ham?
They were, and Newcastle have fallen to late defeats, both against Chelsea and Everton, where it was 0-0 and they held the game out well defensively till the 85th minute, and then something went wrong. Eddie Howe came into these 2 games with an incredible record. It looked like he turned it round for the Geordies. After a nice break, will they be able to tighten up the defence? it won't be easy facing Harry Kane and Heung-min Son on their recent form at the new Tottenham ground, which they seem to love at the moment. So I'm simply going 2-0 Tottenham. They've got no more competitions to worry about, no more cups. They weren't in Europe for a while. So all focus is batting teams to catch up to Arsenal. That 3-point gap for top 4 is always possible, especially with all focus on it.
Wow, you've answered my question without me asking it. Can they catch Arsenal? Because it's getting very interesting there. I think Arsenal might slip up a little, but we'll come to them later. I'm going to go 2-1 to Spurs.
Slightly different, same argument. Bambino, Becky, what is your prediction?
So Newcastle sell corned beef pasties. Therefore, I'm going to have to go for them. Because their Greggs is better than anyone else's. They're winning 2-1.
Crystal Palace of South London in 12th against Arsenal of North London in 4th. What a tasty London derby this will be. Crystal Palace not lost any of the last 4 games, and Patrick Vieira, he's got them playing, hasn't he?
Yeah, the Arsenal legend's done a great job. He's just sent 3 players to the England squad. Conor Gallagher, Mark Guehi and
Tyreek Mitchell.
Both teams have scored in this encounter. Out in the 9 times, I think about 8 of them.
Yeah.
So it's going to be high scoring. It's going to be fired up, especially with that kind of Arsenal link coming through. Both teams are kind of shining at the moment. Arsenal got a massive away win, lost out. They properly look like they're going to get top 4. But you said when we were talking about the Tottenham game that they'd slip up.
I think this will be a brilliant game because Crystal Palace have impressed me so much. I think they're one of the stories of the season.
They have, yeah.
They went from being this old team to being this young, exciting team. Like you said, with 3 players in the England squad, that is quite brilliant. I think they'll at least draw this. I'm going for a 1-1 draw.
A 1-1 draw, yeah?
Yes.
Well, Palace held up Man City to a 0-0,
yes,
wasn't it?
They did.
So it's not a surprise that 1-1. If that happens, they're very good at home at the moment. They're creating a crazy atmosphere at Selhurst Park, and the way they're running with their young team, academy money massively invested into it as well. The way they're going, the direction as a football club is really impressive. I got it wrong with Palace, but with Arsenal, they're also looking for top 4. They need to hold off Tottenham, and I'm going to back them to win 2-1.
Whoa.
Goals from Emil Smith-Rowe and Lacazette for me. And just to add, I think the comments that Gary Neville made about Arsenal were absolutely wrong. I think if Arsenal were to make top 4, it's a massive statement with that team. We were predicting anywhere between 5th and 8th in our Prem predictions at the start of the season, and I bet Neville was as well. Him just writing off this top 4 thing like it's nothing is a disgrace, because Arsenal, Mikel Arteta has done wonders.
Yeah, absolutely, Theo. He's done a brilliant job. Respect to Arsenal. This will be a cracker. But Bambino, Becky, what do you reckon, mate?
Crystal Palace versus Arsenal. Now, Crystal Palace, I don't believe that's a real name. My uncle supports Arsenal, so I'm going to have to say Arsenal, and they're going to win 1-0.
And finally, Burnley against Everton. It's a double game week, isn't it? It's another Lancashire derby, and what an important game. What do you reckon?
It's not only a double game week, it's also a double pointer.
Yes.
6-pointer game this. Both teams need a result, and I don't see Lampard losing both games in this kind of double game week. You know what I mean? He's not coming out with 0 points. He'll come out with 1, because as much as Burnley need to win, so do Everton. 1-1 draw, goals from Ben Mee and Richarlison.
I predict it's snowing in London right this moment.
Yeah, what the
I
hell?
can't
Why is
believe
snowing?
it.
I've just come back from 20 degrees in Lisbon and Porto to this.
But you know what? I reckon this will be a tough, close game. Lots of, maybe a red card, a bunch of yellow cards. He can't believe it's snowing.
Yeah.
Burnley 1-0. They're going to win this.
Sorry, I'm turning this into a weather show, but when I flew to Lisbon, I swear it was 15 degrees and sunny in London, and now it's snowing.
Burnley versus Everton. I think I'm going to go for Burnley, just because I love saying it. Burnley taking it home with a 2-1. I'm very sorry about my predictions, but I also feel like I've added some spice to the episode. Send my love to thogden.pr. Becky. It's been a pleasure. Love you guys. See you soon.
Have we hit 10,269 likes yet?
And have you, I'm looking at you, have you subscribed yet?
Oh, no, you haven't. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Now you have.
He has, that's good.
Thank you, that's really good. Right,
yeah,
okay,
well done,
brilliant. I'm off to a little game on Saturday. You can probably guess which one. And we'll see you in a bit. Bye-bye.
See ya.